Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm really happy to say that this video is sponsored by Cricut. They have been so kind to me to gift a heap of different vinyls, so I'm going to play around with those today and give you some ideas that you can start your own business with. So I've chosen 3 quite simple ideas that you could use to start your own business or even add a line to your existing business. I feel that there's a lot you can do with them. They don't have to be as basic as I have done them today. This video will be split into 3 different parts. Timestamps will be down below so you can jump to wherever you would like to see. I'll show you what I've made with the Cricut Maker, the Cricut EasyPress, and a heap of their different vinyls and bits and pieces. And I will do a little disclaimer. When making these products, you need to be very aware of what fonts you're using, what images you're using, because they could be copyrighted, trademarked. You could get in trouble for using them. You need to make sure that the fonts and everything you're using are completely free to use, or you've paid for the license to use them. Just make sure that's in the back of your mind, and you might need to purchase some fonts.
Cricut also has a very extensive design space, and you can access the subscription in Australia for $13.99 per month. This allows access to thousands of images and ready-to-make projects that are covered by Cricut's Angel policy, which allows certain permissions for people to sell their craft work using Cricut's designs. I'll also link below the website that has all the legal documentation so you can find out more about Cricut's Angel policy.
First up, we have the drink bottle. It doesn't have to be just a name. You don't have to just personalize it as a name. You can put your own decals on there, so you can design your own flower to pop on there and like make it actually, you know, a really different, stand out from the crowd, just to make yourself a bit different from everyone else. Like, you could possibly have their name, but then also around the other side of the drink bottle you could have a heap of, I'm going to go with the flower option. You could design your own flower on programs such as Procreate.
You could also use Cricut Design Space to make your flowers, or choose from thousands of ready-to-make projects and images within the Design Space software. And of course you can upload your own designs from Procreate, etc.
Save as a PNG, and you could just have white little floral bits all over here, or you could even do different colors. There's so many endless possibilities. So it doesn't have to be just as simple as this. Drink bottles, tumblers, all that sort of stuff, very popular at the moment. People want to be reusing their items, and they also like them being personalized. I believe in putting yourself different from the crowd. You want to try and make whatever you do stand out, because obviously there's a lot of competition out there with Cricut products. Definitely something to consider. So next we have the stickers. I use Cricut vinyl for these ones, and I also use Procreate to design the stickers. So I do go through a really quick tutorial on the designing of the stickers, then how to set it up and how to print it and what settings to use. Sticker businesses are super popular at the moment. They have just endless possibilities really, because if you can design things, if you can create, you can do a lot of this stuff on your phone through different apps, also like Photoshop, other design software, where you can make your own sort of stuff and make it you. Again, you want to try and make yourself different from the crowd. Endless possibilities with stickers and that sort of stuff. And they're also quite cheap to make. And you can also sell sticker sheets that are the Kiss Cart version. They can be profitable depending on how you do everything. My last one is the jumpers. Apparel is very, very popular at the moment. A lot of people do purchase decals and stuff off Etsy. Again, make sure that you have the license to be able to on sale. I have made a heap of really basic jumpers. I made these jumpers because I'm going to gift them to my family and friends before my proper merch comes in. But this is with iron-on vinyl, and I thought they turned out so good. This is the one I did that, you know, these are really popular. So I'm actually coming out with these start of the next year for my 8th year anniversary. I'll be getting them done elsewhere because I don't have the time to make them all myself, but they were super easy to make. And for someone just starting out and wanting to sort of expand into clothing, this would be such a great thing for you to do. So obviously you don't need to do your own merch collection, but you can put different slogans on the front. Just make sure they're not trademarked. But yeah, you can put different slogans and different things on the front, and even images. So if you are comfortable designing your own sort of black and white image, again, flowers, because they're quite popular at the moment too. But yeah, you could make this beautiful image and put that on the front of a jumper or a t-shirt. Can you guys hear the rain? Oh my god, it's coming down so hard right now. It's so loud. Again, I've done these really basic, so there is a lot of growth and opportunity to do these a lot more intricate and more like design based. So those are the 3 items that I'll be showing in this tutorial today. I hope you guys enjoy the tutorial.
To make the drink bottle, what you'll need is a Cricut Maker or a Cricut Explore machine. Both will be able to cut the permanent vinyl, which is also what you'll need. You can choose whatever color you like, but just make sure it's the permanent vinyl and not the removable vinyl. You also need transfer tape. You need the bottle or tumbler that you would like to put the personalization on. A standard grip mat. Some scissors. And a laptop or computer.
So for this one, I'm going to show you how to make like a name on a drink bottle or like a tumbler, that sort of thing. You can do like names, pictures, really anything you like. But what you want is the permanent one. You don't want the removable one. So I know they look very similar, but yeah, the permanent one's what you want. I've just purchased this one from Kmart. You can get these from heaps of different places. So I'll have to sort of measure where I want it and how big I want it. Start a new canvas. I'm going to put text in there. So you could do something like that. I'm just going to choose a different font. I quite like this font here. You'll notice there's gaps. So what you want to do there is you want to ungroup. And then you want to sort of move everything along. And try and get as much connected as possible. It is better to do it with like a curvy font. It's just easier. So now all of that's connected, just not the T. So I'm going to weld those together. And welding it together will make it all seamless.
If you don't press weld, be all separate letters.
So yeah, now it's all together again. And now I'm just going to work out what size I'd like it. So I'm just going to measure the drink bottle up. I think the size I have it right now is pretty good. So next I want to make it. So I've just got that one up the top there. On here I can see how many squares that I'll need. So I'm just going to cut out how much that I will need. So I'm just going to do it a little bit bigger than I was going to. About here. Go. Make sure that's nice and pressed down like that. So I'm just pop that in and back over to here. So I'm just going to click continue, connect to the maker. So for the material I'm going to select vinyl, but I'm also going to select more because I have a pretty blunt blade at the moment. So you might just have to do some tests and see how you go. So I'm going to click more. So I'm going to press the button that's flashing. So I need my little weeding tool. So this thing. There's a heap of different things you can get. This one's more like tweezers. I think I should be right with just this one though. And I should mention that you can use the blue sheet. I just have this one handy, so I'll use this one. I'm just sort of like gonna grab a corner, try and like pick it up. If you have like a lot of different angles like I do, you just have to be quite gentle because you don't want to rip any of the vinyl by accident. Usually it is a little bit easier to do, but I've got such thin letters. So that also might be another consideration. If this is too fiddly, you might want to do like a thicker font, because it is easier with ones that have a thicker font. There we go. So I'm just going to gently press down where I've accidentally lifted up. And then I just need to get out these bits because they don't belong there. Just double check that you got every single little bit that you need to get out. And then we'll use the transfer tape. Alright, so I'm just going to check that that will fit. Yep. So what I'm going to do is peel just a little bit back to start off with. Okay, it's probably just going to be easier that way. Just going to pop that down like that. I missed a tiny bit there, but that should be fine. Alright. And that's where this part comes in handy. Just going to keep peeling back. You don't have to do it this way, you can just like sort of just put it all on at once. But I just find it's a bit easier to control. Alright. And now you just want to make sure that you've really got it on there well. Because you want to make sure that when you do lift it up, it's going to stick to the transfer tape and not to the paper. Like that. And if you do find that some of it's not sticking, just gently put it back down and rub again. Okay, beautiful. So now I've got the name ready. So we've got this. Probably be a bit easier if you had some stabilizing items, sort of so it doesn't move as much. I'm just going to clean the surface. Just make sure it's free from any dust or lint. I'm just using a lens cleaner, but I mean you can use really anything. Alcohol wipe, that sort of stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to position this how I want it. I reckon here. Right. And yeah, I just gotta be kind of gentle and sort of move stuff around. If it is like a really curvy drink bottle, it might take a little bit more effort, like this one, to sort of make sure it's not going to look funny, like balls or anything. Fold up. So I'm just going to do each letter sort of individually, because this one is like a much more curvier drink bottle than I've done in the past. So I can make sure that each letter is going on properly. And it's not going to be all bunched up. Okay. So I'm just going to smooth all those out. Once you think it's on there properly, just want to peel that back. Like that. And again, you can sort of like press down anywhere you think that might not be on properly. But I mean, that's all pretty on really well actually. So that's that one all made. To make the vinyl stickers, you'll need a Cricut Maker or Explore. You need your laptop, a standard grip mat or one of the blue mats, so the light grip. You need the printable vinyl from Cricut, and optional you can have like your iPad or whatever you use to design things. I used Procreate to design my stickers, and of course you'll also need a printer and all the cables that go with it. So now I'm going to show you how to make stickers. I'm using an iPad with Procreate. Usually I just choose like an A4 page or something that's kind of large, not really a screen size because you want the stickers to still be good quality. So I'll choose something like this. And of course you can skip this part if you don't have Procreate or you want to do it a different way to like design your stickers. But I'm just going to do like a super quick one. I don't know what palette to use. Maybe this one. So I'll just speed this up. So after you have your like basic sticker outline and everything, what you want to do is just remove the background. So you can do this sort of stuff on Photoshop and sort of any other design sort of things. And now the most important part is you want to do a different layer. I usually just do a white background, and I usually just use monoline or something similar. And what you want to do is just trace around the object that you just made. So I'm just going to neaten up these corners a bit because they weren't exactly perfect. And this will be the outline of the sticker. And what you want to do is just pop that back over the top. So it looks like that. And then you want to share that or save it as a PNG. You don't want to save it as a JPEG because that will make it have a massive border around it. So we'll save it as PNG. So I've just sent that over to my MacBook. What I'm going to do is just go new project and I'm going to upload it. So these are all the ones I already have, but I'm going to upload the image. Like this. I'm going to choose complex. I usually just choose complex because I found that sometimes when I did the simple one, the stickers weren't as nice. It would already automatically choose what it is because it's a very distinctive white background. So yeah, this is what it's going to cut and this is what the print is. So I want a print then cut because I'm going to print this rainbow. So I'm going to add that to canvas. So you can make that really any size you like. It has the dimensions here and here. You can also use this part up here and you can unlock it there if you need, but that will probably make it distorted. And what I'm going to do is also add some of the other ones I already have so we can get a few more things on here. So these are some of the other designs that I've made. So now that you have whatever you like on this sheet, you can add in a shape, add a rectangle or square. What you want to do is click this button up here, which is a little lock. And what you want to do is put in the dimensions that are on the screen right now. And that just gives you a basic outline of what the Cricut will allow you to put in there. Put all the stickers in, because sometimes if you just place them, it will make like this, it will make them go onto a different page and you'll waste your paper. So you can sort of move everything around and you can also rotate things to try and fit more. And right now I'm just going to duplicate. So there's like a duplicate button, or you can do this and duplicate from there as well. And you can also use the copy and paste as well. So I can definitely fit more on here, but I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll just space them out nicely. There we go. So I'm quite happy with what I've got here. What you want to do is remove the background. So I've just deleted that big rectangle. And you want to select them all. And I usually just flatten them so they're all one page. Then we're going to click Make It. And double check that everything is in fact on the one page. Perfect. If you do end up with something on the next page, you'll have to go back and just maybe move some stuff around. Maybe just double check the measurements I gave you. Just make sure that everything's within those lines. If they're too big, that'll make you go on a separate page. So I'm going to send this to the printer. So this is the paper that I'll be using today, which is printable vinyl by Cricut. So it just has some pictures and probably has instructions in here too. So I'm just going to go pop this on in my printer. So what I'm going to do is send to printer. I'm going to choose my printer. I'm not going to add bleed. I am going to add system dialog. So system dialog just helps you with the printer options. I'm going to click print and it will pop up with like a different thing. It might be behind. Yep. So it usually does come up behind if you don't have it, if you don't have the Cricut to full page. So I don't want it black and white. I don't want it two-sided. I want it to feed through the rear tray. Rear tray just works a bit better. It doesn't leave as many creases in their inks, I find, rather than doing it so like it folds the paper up and around. Alright, I'm happy with all those. So I'm just going to press print. I'm going to change my inks a little bit. Here we go. I'll also mention that if your printer is a smart sort of printer like mine, you will need to change the settings to letter because this is a letter size. rather than A4 document size, otherwise it won't print. Next, what you want to do is get out your mat. I use the standard grip for stickers. I have used the light one in the past, but it does get not grippy after a while. And I always keep the plastic sheet on there just so it stays nice and dirt free. So what you want to do is just line that up. So there is an option where you can laminate these. That's what I usually do with my actual stickers. I laminate them first by putting this sheet and then putting a blank sheet underneath, or putting two of these sheets and like having them face outwards so that this side's laminated and then the back side's not. But in this tutorial I won't do that, but there is another tutorial on my channel which does show how you can do that and what settings to use. Alright, so once that's done, you want to move over to your Cricut. I'll also be using the Cricut Maker in this tutorial, but you can use just the standard Air one. So we'll turn that on. So I'm just going to pop that one in here. Just sit it in there for a moment. And then on the laptop, what you'll need to do is press I've already printed and make sure that your machine's actually connected. There we go. Now, I usually use the laminate one. I've made this custom, but because this is a different sheet, I'm just going to browse the materials and find the correct one. So the printable vinyl, which is one of the Cricut ones, that one more does a kiss cut, I've found. So I'm just going to pop in sticker. So I'm going to cut on this one, printable sticker paper in white. So you can actually go through the material settings and have a look at what cut pressure they have. So the printable sticker paper has 222, whereas printable vinyl has 107. So we're going to try out the printable sticker paper. That way we should get a dial-look one. I'm just going to use default and don't need to worry about any of that. Here we go. So I'll just pop all those out. If you do find that some of them have come out a little bit more jagged than you'd like, you can try a lower setting. It will just depend on like how sharp your blade is, because yes, it can rip or make like a jagged sort of edging. But yeah, you can try different settings and see what's best for the specific paper you're using and your specific machine, whether you need to do more pressure or a double cut. But there we go. So we've got some vinyl stickers ready to go. So they're the die cut version. And this is what I mean by kiss cut. So you can actually peel them off and then not cut through the back. But that is how to make die cut stickers with the Cricut vinyl paper. To make the jumpers with the everyday iron-on, you will need a Cricut Maker or Explore, the standard grip mat, some everyday iron-on or whatever iron-on you'd like to use, the Cricut EasyPress 2, this one's the large one. Optional, you can also have the mini one, some scissors or something to cut the sheets with, some baking paper. I use this to protect the Cricut heat press. iPad, I use that to design my logos and everything. The laptop, also one of the mats that you pop the heat press on, or you can use a towel. To make the jumpers, I have already got some images already. So I'm going to do some of these ones. But these are pretty simple. They're pretty much just like words. Like this one was a straight line and I just moved everything up and down. And this one I added in like little lines. So I thought it'd be good to do my business logo a couple times and also the entrepreneur one, because I really like the style of this. But of course you can use whatever you like really to put on these. Cricut does of course have heaps of different things you can cut. You just need to make sure that you have permission to use them. For this I'm going to put a PNG into the Cricut and send it across. Alright, so I've received both of those. So what I'm going to do now is upload. I'm going to upload an image. I'll upload this one first. We're just going to do complex. I don't know why, I just always choose complex regardless of what it is. So it already has like the background cut out. Now, this one should be the one I need because I'm not doing a print and cut. I'm just like cutting it out from like the text. So yeah, so that's what that one looks like. And then I'll just upload the next one. So as you can see, it's massive. I'm going to get the jumpers out and we're going to see what sort of size I'm going to need and measure it up. So I have a few different jumpers, different colors. So there's a mixture of Gildan and Sheen here. They're just like the cheaper sort of jumpers. If you were going to sell them, I'd recommend the AS Color brand just because they have like a really nice feel to them and they're really good quality, or Gildan Hammer. So this one's the heavy blend one and it's alright, but I do much prefer the Hammer version of this jumper. It just feels so much better, and like the inside of this is really nice though, I will admit. It's nice and fluffy. But yeah, the Hammer version is even fluffier and it's just so much thicker and yeah, just really nice material. They're just like two that are in Australia that you could get. Overseas, there's probably a lot more options and they're the two that I would, yeah, be doing my merch with. But for this tutorial, I'll be using these ones. So I do have a whole heap of iron-on. These are the ones you'll need. It's the Everyday Iron-On. It's Strong Bond. There's also like foil one. 30. So I can only really do the size of this. Unless you do have the new Cricut, you can do even longer. So I've just put 29 into this. So it has 29 across here, 29 centimeters, and then it has different dimensions going down. So I'm just going to cut about 8 centimeters going down, so it fits everything in. The reason I did 29 is because they are exactly on the edge. So I want to make sure that the cut will be within the piece of paper and not like right on the edge and I might miss some. So when putting these pieces on, you can see that there's like a shiny side and then a dull side. You want to make sure that the shiny side is facing down, because if you don't do that, like, it won't work properly. Okay, so I've just adjusted these. You probably can't see them very well because they are black, but on my screen I can see them pretty well. So I've just adjusted them to make sure that they are in the correct like lines that my paper is currently in. Now, this is a really, really important step. You want to mirror it. So you click that one over here. That is what you click, because if you don't mirror it, it's going to come out backwards like it looks like on screen at the moment. This is what you'd usually do if you're using transfer paper or really anything like that. Once you click mirror, iron it on or heat press it on, it will be the right way around, if that makes sense. But yeah, if you don't press that, you're going to end up with everything backwards. So you want it to be mirrored. Okay, so once the paper is sorted and you've definitely got mirror turned on, you're going to click continue. Make sure the make is connected, and we're going to browse, and we're going to do, if we just pop in iron, it should come up. Yeah. So Everyday Iron-On. There's two different ones, so it depends on what sort of iron-on you're using. So you would have to go through and just make sure that you're using the right one. But this one is an Everyday Iron-On that I'm using right now. But if I'm doing the glitter or the foil, those would be the ones I would be choosing. And then it also comes up with a little warning here. It says make sure mirror is turned on and iron-on material is face down, shiny side. Double check that you've got both of those done. So mirror definitely turned on and you've got your materials face down, so the shiny side is facing down. I'm going to just click more because I don't have a very sharp blade at the moment, but usually you'd be fine without that. So I've just loaded that one in. I've clicked the little arrow button and then I've clicked the flashing Cricut button. So now that's starting to cut for me. So what you want to do is try and weed this one off. So you want to start right in the corner. You just want to keep that little bit down. I don't know if you can see that. Just want to peel. Just want to be very gentle with it as well, because you don't want to rip into your design at all. Here we go, that's the first one. And if you're worried about like the wastage and everything, when you line it up, you can like cut away this sort of stuff before peeling, so then you can like reuse it, because I'm sure you can get quite a bit more use out of anything that I just like peeled off. And then you just have to very carefully weed these tiny little bits in here. There we go. And I'm just going to do the other one off camera. Okay, so I've just gone on to the Cricut website, like cricut.com. It was /EP-settings, so EasyPress settings. So I've just gone on here to have a look at what would be best for what I'm using right now. So I'm just going to click the everyday iron one. I'm not 100% sure what's the difference between these two, but I'm just going to select that. So they mostly are polyester. So I have the EasyPress matte. I'm just going to apply that. I'm going to change it to C because I don't do the F. So Celsius. So it says preheat for 5 seconds, light pressure. Alright, let's get this EasyPress on. Just going to turn it on, change the temperature to 155, and we need it on for 30 seconds. So we don't need it on for that long. So with these, what you want to do is sort of press them down like that and peel them this way, peel the board off them, if that makes sense. So once you have all your pieces ready, they should look like this. What you want to do is get your jumper or t-shirt, etc. prepared. I'm just going to press this for about 5 seconds, just so we have a nice flat surface. Then I'm going to line this up. Now you can get an actual ruler, like a t-shirt ruler, that will line up everything for you. You can get those off Amazon or eBay or just like online in general. I'm guessing you would just type in like t-shirt guide, ruler guide, HTV, that sort of thing. But I'm just eyeballing it. But yeah, if we were going to like start a proper business out of this, I'd probably get one of those. Okay, so you want to make sure that it's not the wrong way around. And once you are happy with the placement, I like to use baking paper or something similar, just to make sure that the EasyPress is safe, so you don't accidentally print onto the actual heat press, because that would be very hard to get off. Okay, so I'm just going to lay that down, and I'm going to bring this over, and I'm just going to line it up, make sure I've got both sides in. And then I'm going to click start. So you're going to start the timer. I'm just putting very light pressure on, just as the Cricut instructions said. It's not very heavy pressure. I'm just going to go down to 15 seconds. Because now I'm going to turn it around and heat from the back. So I'm just going to quite literally turn it around like this. And start heating from the back. So I could have done 15 seconds for both sides as well. Instead of having to stop it at 15, I could have just done 15. So once that's done, you've done 15 seconds on each side. You want to just peel this off when it's cool to touch. And at the moment it's quite hot, so I'm just going to put that aside for a moment. And we'll peel that off in a minute. Okay, so it's cool to touch now, so I'm just going to gently peel. I'm trying to also not peel it towards my body like this, because that may lift some of the decals up. So I'm just being really gentle. So this one's optional. It's just the mini one. But I thought it'd be a really cute idea that if you did make your own sort of stuff, you can put like your logo up here. So I just printed out these again, like in super small form. And I'm just going to pop it straight there. I've got the heat guide for Cricut up again. It says preheat for 5 seconds, medium 25 seconds, constant movement with light pressure, flip and press for 15 seconds. Slowly remove lineup when cool to touch. So again, I'm going to use this to put over the top. And I don't have a timer, so I'm just going to have to count it. Oh, that's already like pretty much come off. Okay. Yeah, and that feels like it's really nicely on. So that's really cute. Also, another side note about the jumpers, or like just HTV, iron-on stuff in general, bags are really popular, especially calico ones. So if you either get those in or you can make them yourself, they're super easy to sew up. You could like put your own designs on them too. Depending on how you do it, it can be really, really popular. It is now pouring down, so I'm so sorry if you can't hear me correctly, but I do hope you guys like these tutorials. I hope that you guys can... God, did you hear that? I hope you guys can adapt them and make them your own and add even more creativity to them. I feel like there's a lot of potential with definitely these 3 products. It might take a little bit more design and more thinking outside the box to get them to sell really well. You need to niche down. I've always said that you need to niche down in whatever you're doing. There's going to be a lot less people that are exactly the same as you. For me personally, I have wide elastic scrunchies, so that puts me aside from pretty much everyone else. There are a few people that now do them as well, but when I first started doing them, I was the only person like worldwide. I couldn't find no one else that was doing them. So yeah, if you try and adapt all the things I've just shown you, when I say niche down, I mean try and pick a subcategory of whatever you're doing and try and target that audience. So your audience is smaller, but you'll be more likely to find buyers in an oversaturated market. But yeah, I'm super happy with how everything turned out. I'll definitely recommend the little mini press. Like, how cute is that? Like, just like personalize all your different jumpers, or even like your little, if you do like little tote bags and stuff, you can personalize them. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, because I do have more DIYs coming. I have so many more. I just need to find time to film them. And of course I do vlogs of my weekly life as a small business owner. So I do hope this video was beneficial for you, and good luck with starting your business or your existing business. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!